Hello, guys. Welcome to the Bench podcast for the final podcast of the 2020 year. It's been a bit of a, can't believe it's been almost a year now since we started our first podcast on the 23rd of January, if I think I'm right. A lot's changed since then. A lot's happened since then. But the main thing is we've all brought content.
Don't even get me started.
We've constantly brought content to you guys, which I hope everyone has enjoyed. And we've enjoyed bringing it to you. And, as we said, we're on the road to 100 subscribers. We're very close now. So it would be really cool if it can get in our first year before maybe the end of January. And we're trying to get in December, but end of January, if we can get before 100 subscribers, I think we can really call that a good year for us. But anyway,
call it a last-minute Christmas miracle for everyone.
Yeah.
If we can get 100 subs this year,
guys.
We've got plans if we can get there before then, and we'll eventually when we do get there, we'll have some plans for you maybe to celebrate that.
Guys, 95 subscribers we've got at the moment. 5 to go. If you're in a tier 2 area, rule of 6. Let's get the rule of 6 in because I want over 100 subscribers. So 6 people. That's all I want.
Tier 3 is technically a rule of 6 outside.
Okay, whatever. But yeah.
Very precise.
So get your dogger a YouTube account. Get your goldfish a YouTube account. Anyone you know.
Parrot.
YouTube account.
Neighbour, your next door neighbour's neighbour, etc.
Yeah. If you love football, just follow the Bench podcast and subscribe because I'm absolutely desperate. We've all had a crap year. Let's get us to 100.
Anyway, for our final episode today, we're going to be doing, as most people will probably be doing anyway, but we're doing a team of the year for 2020, not a season, just the whole year from January the 1st to 31st. Oh, okay, it's not the 31st December, but whatever. Pretty much the whole calendar year.
Yeah, that's it.
We've all picked our teams. I think we've agreed on most, but there's probably going to be a few honourable mentions or certain players that we haven't agreed on.
Just to clarify, this is Premier League team only. This isn't going to be like a European one. This is just Premier League team of the year. So just keep that in mind.
So let's do it in the same format as we normally do. So we obviously got our players, but we're picking an overall team of the season or team of the year.
Yeah, can do.
We can do.
If it's 2 to 1, then we'll have to go 2 to 1. But
Okay.
I will go first with goalkeepers, and I think I don't know if you two think the same. It's pretty easy for me, and I've gone with Alisson because obviously I'm as a Man United fan. A couple of years ago, I'd have been saying De Gea, but I've seen De Gea. He's had a bit of a decline in the last few years. Alisson has definitely come up.
Don't even start me on Kepa, mate.
Yeah. But Alisson's had the last 2 years. I was definitely, been watching Liverpool. Everyone jumps on the Van Dijk bandwagon saying he's definitely helped. But also I think as well, Alisson's also a big part of their defence. And he wins them a lot of points in the season. So he definitely has to be. He's the number 1 goalkeeper for me in the Premier League. Possibly number 1 in the world as well. I'm not quite sure, but he's very close. He's definitely in the top tier for me. And he's my goalkeeper. I don't know if you two agree with that.
I completely agree with that, Kingy, and that it warms my heart on this Christmas time to hear you say that. He's been brilliant since he's come in. I've said this plenty of times. Despite the fact that the only problem with him, he suffers a few injuries, but other than that, he has been brilliant since he's joined Liverpool, and last season was no exception, as well as the start of this season. He's since he's been out. Obviously, the 7-2 against Villa was when Adrian was in goal.
I just had to say that, yeah.
Without
Alisson, you lose 7-2. So, yeah. No, I fully agree with what you're talking about. Like, it bitters me to say. But Alisson has proved over the last few seasons that he's probably the best, up there with the best goalkeepers in the world at the moment. You could argue players like Neuer, obviously, are black to stay good.
Yeah.
But I'd definitely say the Premier League crown, especially with Henderson, how he's kind of dropped off a little bit, along with Man City. But Alisson's got the crown for me.
But for honourable mention for a goalkeeper, I have gone with Dean Henderson.
Yeah, same.
As mine. And I just think if you look at, the season Sheffield United had last season, and although I think if he was there this season, I still think they'd be struggling. I think they would have picked up maybe a few more points, possibly with Henderson there. I think they could have been.
You got to the same discussion with Alisson. He would save Sheffield United a few points if he was still there at Sheffield United. I don't think they'd be bottom if he was in goal. I think maybe they'd be
down. They'd be down there, but they'd be better than they were. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think you could actually tell when like if, for example, especially the games we had against Sheffield United last season, because obviously Dean Henderson was alone, so couldn't play against us. Sheffield United looked weaker, and
it was a master strike by Ollie. That was 6 points.
One thing I can say about Henderson is that vocally he's very vocal on the with his back line, and they're probably missing that factor with the goal. Is it Ramsdale?
Yeah, Aaron Ramsdale. Yeah.
I still think Ramsdale's a good goal. I think he's not a bad keeper, but no, he's not.
Yeah, for me, he should be England's number one. But
I've gone for a different. I've gone for a different honourable mention for mine. I was going to choose Henderson, but I was thinking obviously this season he's not. I'm classing it from the whole of 2020. He's obviously not played as much since he's been back at United. So for me, I've gone for Nick Pope as the honourable mention for that one.
Oh, okay.
He should really be England. He should really be England's number one. Him or Henderson, really, but I think Nick Pope's a solid goalkeeper. He probably should be doing better than where he is at Burnley.
Yeah,
I think really he'd be better off at Everton, maybe getting rid of Pickford.
Definitely, that'd be a good sign for them. That'd be a great sign. I think if they got Nick Pope over Pickford, I definitely think Everton could be top 4 contenders on a regular. I think.
Yeah,
they're top 4. The top 4 contenders this year, but I think they might miss out due to Pickford.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only.
But anyway, so as goalkeepers, we're going to probably go for Alisson. I think there's no real dispute there, really.
Yeah.
Really not.
There's not
I think most of the back lines probably sorted out already. But
I'll go on to my back line first. So right back, I've gone for a pretty simple one. I've gone for Trent. Just because I think even last season, some of the free kicks he scored and passing and his crossing, I do admit he needs to work a bit on his defending. His defending side could be a bit better, but I definitely think that will improve over time. So Trent's the right back. Van Dijk, centre back, solid as ever, best centre back in the world. No one really can argue with that. And just a solid all-round player. All his games quick. He's got good passing, dribbling's good. He's just, he might have made the 1 or 2 mistakes, which is very rare. You see him make a mistake, and if he does make a mistake, usually
just quickly, I think with Van Dijk, I think Rio Ferdinand was called this in his career. He was known as he's like a Rolls Royce type defender. He was quite smooth on the ball, good at passing, like distribution, can get his hands dirty when he needs to. Obviously, he's good at tackling, and he's I say he's the complete defender really for me, best in the world by no stretch of it really.
I think with Liverpool at the moment, with how their style of play, Van Dijk stirs the pot a little bit, if you know what I mean. So his range of passing as a defender, I'd say he's probably the best in the world with his long range passing.
Honestly, I've seen it live. I've seen him play live passing. It's scary how good it is. Honestly,
literally, they'll play out from the back and Van Dijk, you just put to diagonal balls either to either Mane or Salah, and that's how Liverpool get most of the goals.
Yeah. But definitely. My other centre back. Now this is, I don't know if you two agree. I've gone for Connor Cody. Now the reason why I've gone for Connor Cody,
I was debating Connor Cody, but I've got another option. But
I've gone someone else.
The reason why I've gone for Connor Cody is, I think, is because he's broken into the England team. He's got his first few caps and has been a solid member in the Wolves back four for many years, and he's developed under Nuno as a really solid centre back. He's not. Yeah, he's definitely not. He's not like a top centre half, but he's a good solid centre back. The Wolves would miss him, and he's a leader as well. Very good leader for Wolves. So that's why for me he goes in there. I think if Laporte played more during the whole year, but he's been injured a lot. I think Laporte would have been in there. But for me, Cody, I think he's the one that stood out alongside. So I think he will go there for me. Don't know what you two picked.
Do you want to go first, Ethan? Because mine will probably be the weird one, but go on.
Okay, so with my centre back, because obviously the rest, so you got Robertson, Van Dijk, Trent. Those are the obvious ones because obviously Liverpool in the league and they're probably in their positions. They are the best in their positions, arguably.
There's not much
in the
contest,
Premier League.
really.
Yeah, there really isn't. But this one, I've gone from Vestergaard from Southampton.
Oh,
He's
an honourable mention for me. And honestly, I was thinking of putting him in, but I thought maybe not. But honestly, this year I've seen him play, and honestly, he's a threat going forward. He's like a B-Tech Van Dijk.
Yeah,
he's not as good.
But didn't they replace Van Dijk with Vestergaard?
They've had that many. They've bought that many defenders since Van Dijk left. Obviously, Bednarek's another one. Salisu last season they bought in. It's been obviously Vestergaard's had a bit of a slower start in his time at Southampton, but it seems now he's settling down and he has been putting in some good performances this season.
He's a good centre half. Like he's strong. He's good in the air. I think maybe pace lets him down a bit, but I think Southampton have probably altered their tactics and formation, so he's not beaten on the pace. And he's good at his passing. He's pretty good as well.
And if you look at this calendar year, Southampton, I'd have to get like the actual like league table up, but I'm sure Southampton towards the top with this calendar year. Let me just have a carry on talking.
They're doing well.
I'm trying to think of whether he showed this form last year, towards the end of last season, because that was the only thing really that was maybe might not feature in this team really, because he seemed to come on the scene this season.
But I think last season, I think Southampton were inconsistent, but this season they found a bit of consistency. And honestly, I think Everton, I think Southampton this season are Europe contenders. Not top four, but I think they could challenge for Europa League.
That's true, yeah, I agree with that.
So, like, if you look at this calendar year, Southampton would be 7th. Mm-hmm. So, if you look at how they've done, like, this year, oh, bless me. If you look at this year, Southampton have had a really good season. And I think Vestergaard's been, like, he's contributed with a couple of goals this season, a couple of headers, because Southampton really good at set pieces. And, I think Vestergaard's been the best of the rest, let's say.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Right, mine's a bit of a weird one as well. I've gone kind of with that, and I'm surprised I picked him because I wasn't a massive fan of him a couple of years back. I didn't think he was that good. But I've actually gone for Tyrone Mings, Aston Villa. Yes, it's a very weird one. I understand that, but I've got a few points to back it up a little bit. I mean, bearing in mind, obviously, Villa survived relegation last season in 2020. He was obviously a big part of that. With it, he's got for what he is, he has got good leadership ability, and he's quite a presence in the air. I'd say he's quite a big player. And obviously, this season now, where Villa are at 9th, it seems like he's been a big part of that too. I mean, I was looking at some percentages of him on One Football app. If you haven't got that at all, like a lot of his stats are ranging from like the high 70s, really, which is surprising for a team of Villa's quality. And obviously, where they are at the moment, it shows that he's obviously done a good job in defence. That's why I've picked Mings, really.
Well, I think he's done well, yeah. I think Villa, well, speaking of Villa, if Villa win their 2 games in hand, because they've only played 12 games because their game against Newcastle was suspended, they could technically go up to 2nd, which is crazy to think Villa could go 2nd in the league.
Yeah, so open,
because they're on 22 points, but if they won their 2 games in hand, they could go 2nd, possibly. So,
yeah,
I don't know if Villa are Europe contenders, but I think they will definitely I think they're definitely having a better season, and I think they'll probably finish mid-table. And I think if Villa can sign some good players in the transfer window in the summer, I think they could push on maybe for a Europa League spot next season, possibly.
As I say, well, I mean, like he has been a big part of that. I mean, I've said that before, but obviously, I understand if that was a bit of a controversial choice because obviously Villa for most of that season were struggling with relegation, but I feel he offered enough last season to keep them up, and also this season where he's showing from the stats that I've read upon him that he's still offering more at the back.
It's hard for me because
God.
It's hard for me when it comes to like an Aston Villa player because obviously they've had a really good start. We can forget about the start now because it's halfway for the season, but they've had a really good they've been really good this season. Obviously beating Liverpool, and as Kingy said, if they win the next 2 games, potentially they could go second in the league. But like, you need to remember, I know they escaped relegation last season, but besides those last few games, when I remember they had a really good result against Arsenal and they won a couple of games towards the end, like Villa were shocking. They were conceding goals. They were.
What I personally think it was with that is I think they kept changing centre halves. I think Eric Konza's a good centre back. Partnership with him. I think they've formed a good partnership. Ezri Konza, sorry, not Eric. Ezri Konza's formed a good partnership with him because they kept playing Bjorn Engels, and Engels was a bit crap. So, but I think that they're definitely good centre half pairing. But for me, we've got to decide now who we're going to put as that because the other 3 are pretty easy to pick. Robertson, Trent, Van Dijk is pretty.
Well, yeah, I picked the exact same. So
but same. I'm going to stick with Cody. For me, then it's up to you. So who do you think?
I don't
mind dropping Tyrone Mings because I admit that was a bit of a one out of left field, but I do agree with you too, really. But for me, I'd actually go Cody as well.
Cody's been good.
He's been more consistent. Ethan Vestergaard's only really coming onto the scene this season. Bear in mind we're going through the whole of the calendar year.
I know. But then you could argue that Wolves haven't been as good this season. If you want to switch up a little bit,
Cody's been one of their best players this season.
Also, you could like obviously have lost, but if I'm going to argue my point, then again, sorry Adam, sorry Brandon. But all I can say is Cody and his performance for England have shown he can only play in a back 3. He can't play in a 4.
Well, he can because he plays in a 4 at Wolves.
No, he doesn't. Well,
he does.
He's mostly 3. He's mostly 3 to be fair, Kingy.
All I'm saying is, with Wolves this season, when they've been playing, when they're trying to play a 4, they haven't really been playing that well.
Normally they have like Bolly or say Saiss or Dendoncker back with him. That's how they perform.
Dendonker's a good midfielder. But anyway, that will be our back 4. So Trent, Van Dijk, Cody, and Robertson is our back 4. And now we're going to go on to the midfield. I'll start with mine. So I've got two pretty obvious ones. I think most people have said. Kevin De Bruyne, because I think he won Premier League Player of the Year last year for the season.
Yeah, he did very well last season. And he started
De Bruyne was class
well as well. So
yeah, De Bruyne has been class. For this year, because of his impact last season and the way he's been United's best player, it's got to be Bruno Fernandes. It's got to be in there.
The best attacking midfielder in the world. I'm saying it now.
I won't go that far.
Yeah, I won't go that far.
I would though.
Okay. He's in the top 5, but he's not the best in the world.
Okay, let's tail off a little bit. Who is your top 5 quickly?
Top 5.
I struggle to think of a better attacking midfielder than Bruno.
De Bruyne, Royce.
Royce is not better than Bruno.
De Bruyne, Dybala.
These are better than Bruno.
Probably. And
you're insane.
That's 3. So I put Fernandes at 4th. Fernandes 4th best, yeah. I'll probably say those.
Bennett, go on.
I'd say De Bruyne's top. De Bruyne's top for me. There's no competition. I'd say Fernandes. I'd say he's a bit higher than what King is, but I'd say he's third best for me. I'd say the only one third best. Yeah, yeah. De Bruyne's first. Second, I'd probably go for maybe not Marco Reus. Maybe say like a Thomas Muller type player. Maybe Thomas Muller. I'm not. Thomas Muller's been sick for Bayern Munich. They won the treble last season, Ethan. He was a big part of that, and you know that, mate.
Okay. Since Fernandes has joined United, in January, he's had 25 goals and 15 assists. That's ridiculous. I'm sorry. I
admit, he's one of the best in the Premier League. That's why he's in my team. I'll put him in my team as well. But
right,
that would be
it. Calm down. It's not like we don't get arguing.
Right. Can you got one more midfield?
Anyway, and I'll carry on with my last choice. My last choice is, I don't know if you two agree, I've gone for James Ward-Prowse.
Bizarre, absolutely bizarre. Jordan Henderson should be in everyone's team this year. I'll say my piece in a minute, but yeah, okay. You pick James Ward-Prowse bizarrely, but
Prowse, De Bruyne, and Fernandes.
Okay, Ethan, go on you next.
Okay, so the obvious two, we got the best attacking midfielder in the world and De Bruyne.
Bruno Fernandes.
And then for me, if we're gonna go by position, and I've followed the Georgie Bennett role here, and I have got statistically the best defensive midfielder in the league.
If you're going to Man United play, you can get in the bin. Only Fernandes deserves to be in this team from Man United point of view.
And this player,
it's gonna be Fred.
Last season,
it's gonna be Fred.
Let's get some stats up from
Paul Pogba. If it's Paul Pogba, you can get in the bin. I'll tell you what.
Okay, let's get some stats from last season. So he was in a highly respected side, towards the top of the table. Defensively, he's an absolute rock. He's had the most as a defense. He's had the most tackles in the Premier League, and his name. And for me, I'd only say he's the best defensive midfielder, and it's Wilfred Ndidi.
No, man.
Wilfred Ndidi.
Why? Ridiculous. There's only three midfielders you can pick in this team. Like De Bruyne, Fernandes, and Jordan Henderson. There's no other competition in this whatsoever. I don't know why people are misjudging Jordan Henderson for. It speaks for itself how good he's been this season. Premier League winner. He's won. One of the Player of the Year awards? The Football Writers one. He's finished second in BBC Sport Personality of the Year. I mean, that's pretty decent for it.
But why?
No,
I'm sorry. No, hear me out here.
No, this isn't you. You know nothing about Jordan Henderson because you're a Man United scumbag. That's why. You don't know nothing about him. Get in the bin. You know nothing. Jordan Henderson has been one of the hardest working midfield players in the league for the last couple of years. And this season, he's now started to get his recognition. It's honestly.
I work hard at work, but I don't get recognition for it.
Yeah, it's different.
The postman. The postman works hard. The postman works hard delivering letters. Should he get Player of the Year? No.
He's not involved in football, is he? But you're not listening to me. He's the most all-round midfielder in this league. Yeah, okay, goal scoring is probably not his biggest thing, but he has got a good shot on him. But the main attributes he's got, passing, tackling, marking, the leadership that he has as a captain, it's unmatched in this league, personally, for me. You tell me someone. No. You tell me someone else in the Premier League who's got a better leadership and better overall game as Jordan Henderson. Tell me now because I want to hear.
Jordan Bennett. Okay. Come on. So, I hear what you're talking about, and yes, these players are really important to a squad. But I've supported people who know me. And the people who watch the podcast may know, I'm a huge Manchester United supporter. And For years, shush. For years, I have had people slate Michael Carrick, for exactly the way you talk about Jordan Henderson. Michael Carrick,
Henderson's better than Michael Carrick.
Michael Carrick was a leader. He was a hard worker. His vision, his passing was second to none.
Not on par with Jordan Henderson.
And I had Liverpool supporters, I had City supporters, I had Chelsea supporters. I've had low supporters in the Premier League. Just because he's a United player, he didn't get the recognition he deserved. And he was a crucial part to the Manchester United side that won countless league titles from when he joined. So
he's not as good as
the
Jordan Henderson.
The same people who were saying that Jordan Henderson's the best thing since sliced bread.
Spit it out.
Were the same people who rejected Michael Carrick for exactly the same attributes. So
not as good.
The hypocrisy is
not as
unbelievable.
Good. He's not as good. That's the simple truth of it.
Why? Bennett, Bennett, you a Liverpool fan? You don't know nothing?
Would you? Oh, yeah, sure thing, mate. Yeah, okay. And
all I'm saying is,
are you telling me right now? Are you no. Are you telling me right now? Are you telling me right now that Michael Carrick, if you had no Michael Carrick in your team, that you'd win the league?
No, it was not.
That's ridiculous. You could have won the league without Michael Carrick. You could put anyone in that midfield.
I'm saying is, before Michael Carrick signed for Man United, we were below par of the likes of a strong Chelsea side, a kind of strong Arsenal side, and Liverpool. And then we signed Michael Carrick was the last piece of the jigsaw puzzle.
It could have been Ethan. It could have been that good for you because Ferguson signed Owen Hargreaves like a season later. I mean, yeah, okay, it wasn't his fault. Yeah, okay, he got injured.
Because we didn't. We played a 3 in midfield.
Owen Hargreaves was defensive midfielder though.
Yes, we played Owen Hargreaves. Most of the season we played Owen Hargreaves, Michael Carrick, and Paul Scholes.
Ridiculous. I don't know what.
Benny, you're talking to a United fan.
To play technically.
No, he isn't. You're talking crap.
Yes, he is.
You're talking crap.
He's a better player by an absolute country mile. There's no debate.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. He's not better than Michael Carrick.
What's Michael Carrick got that Jordan Henderson doesn't then?
Michael Carrick can score. He had good long shots. Henderson hardly scores long shots.
Henderson can do that as well, but better. He scored 3 kicks in the past.
Is Michael Carrick scoring? I bet Michael Carrick has as well. Michael Carrick was a better passer of the ball. I admit, yes, Henderson was probably a better tackler and all that. Yes, he was. Michael Carrick's been one of the best passers at Man United. He's probably better. He's almost as good as Scholes. You can't.
I'm sorry. We're in a generation, yeah. It hurts me to say, but people look at players according to their team contribution in goals and assists. It's the same reason people slate Paul Pogba. It's the same reason why people slate thousands of midfielders in the world because they don't get goals and assists. So don't come chatting to me when you've got a player that doesn't get goals and assists, or doesn't get. He wasn't up there with tackles. He wasn't up there with interceptions as a defensive midfielder. Don't talk to me about a player that's got good work ethic and only got the captaincy because Steven Gerrard left. And
that's got absolutely nothing to do with it, Ethan. He was probably the best choice for the role, but he's grown into that role. And he's become I'd say he's one of our best captains we've had.
Me and you have been friends for a really long time. And I remember one season bizarre. You said Jordan Henderson out. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, okay. I honestly, you know what? I'm going to say this now. I admit it. I did say that once upon a time. But from what I've seen of him in the last couple of years, he's worked and worked to get to where he is today. And if you look at him now, he's one of the premier midfielders in Liverpool and probably for England as well. Tell me an England player who gets past him. No one, because he's that good. And I can't really defend him anymore because the stats should really show what he's done this season. But
if we're talking about stats, Wilfred Dean is the best defensive midfielder in the league.
Henderson offers more than just stats, though. But anyway, we'll leave that now because we could be here all day. So
yeah.
Go on.
Anyway,
any honourable mention quickly?
Honourable mentions.
I
put Jack Grealish up there.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, Grealish. I Grealish. Yeah.
For me, James Ward-Prowse, I'd say is an honourable mention. I think an honourable mention goes to Fred as well because Fred's been really good for United this season.
Say so, but okay, carry on.
He has.
And
okay.
Yeah, another honourable mention. I think that's it, really.
Yeah, that's as far as I go.
Maddison, maybe. I don't know.
No. He's been poor.
Okay.
He was good at the start of last season, but like 2020's probably been a bit weaker for him. But yeah, I know what you mean. So go on, let's choose our midfield then. But we got two already, so we'll skip them too. I'm not going to die on this Jordan Henderson hill. He's the midfielder for me.
Do you know what? I'll agree with Bennett.
Thank you.
I'll go Henderson over Indeed.
Man of wisdom. Finally spoke sense, and we are.
I don't think he's better than Michael Carrick, but I think he probably deserves to be in there. So yeah.
Okay, we can debate that all day, but yeah, he deserves to be in this team of the year.
Sorry, Finn. Henderson probably will have to go. Indeed, he's a good player. Indeed, he's a very good player, but Henderson for me probably got to be in there.
Henderson's got that, but more. But we'll carry on, Ethan. I'm sorry, mate.
I would say Ward-Prowse,
all of this.
But I would say Ward-Prowse, but no one picked Ward-Prowse, so we'll pick Henderson.
Right, we'll move on. Right, strikers.
So strikers, I have gone for, well, let's just say forward players. So I've gone for Sadio Mane as my left winger.
Okay.
I've also gone for Son, Heung-min Son from Spurs. I think that's a pretty simple one. This one is a bit of a blockbuster one. He's done a good season. I've gone for Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
For 2020?
Mate, in the last season.
This is okay, this season he's done really well, but what about last season?
George, he scored about he was like one of the top goal scorers last season.
There's been so many better players.
This season.
Raul Jimenez has done better than him, and he's out for the season.
No, he wasn't. Jimenez was not better than Calvert-Lewin this year. Calvert-Lewin's been better than Jimenez.
Go on, Bennett. Say your piece.
Right, I've gone for a different one. I'm missing out one. There's a Liverpool player that's going to miss out here, and it's not the one you're thinking. I'm going to go for Son, Kane, and Mo Salah. This is for the whole year, by the way. I prefer Sadio Mane to Mo Salah, but I think Mo Salah's been brilliant in the whole.
This is where we're going to butt heads here, because for me, I've gone for Son, Jamie Vardy, and Salah.
Okay.
My argument with Harry Kane, yes, he's had this season. It's been extraordinary, but last season it wasn't as good as it was this season. Vardy's been consistent all the way through last season, all the way, and he's still consistent now.
Yeah. Okay.
Son for me, I'll put Son over Mane, even though I think Mane is probably one of the best players in the Premier League. I think Son's been contributing more goals as a forward player more than Mane. That's the only reason why. And Salah, same reason.
I love Heung-min Son. He's brilliant. Like if Mo Salah and Mane weren't out on the wide for us, I'd have Son in a heartbeat. He's a great player.
I think
Son's better than Mane personally.
No, I think Mane
on his day, I'd say Mane's better, but consistency wise, Son's been more consistent.
I know Mane this year hasn't been on as top form as he has been in the past. That's why I'd put Son over Mane now. But I think Mane is a better player. But I'm interested in the Vardy thing really. But because what I'm thinking about it, I understand Kane wasn't injured at the start of this year as well.
And that's what I mean, and that should be a factor.
Yeah, I would actually change that, to be fair, if that's the case. I probably would go for a Vardy.
No, I'm not saying Harry Kane's not a quality player because he's starting to contribute in assists now at the moment, which is really impressive. I think he's actually top assist in the league at the moment with 10 assists.
I think you're right, actually. Yeah.
I think, but if you're looking at goals and people in the calendar year, I'd say Vardy edges it for me over Kane.
Another one you could think of maybe is Danny Ings as well. Danny Ings has been pretty good this
year.
year.
Yeah, Ings has done well.
He's been.
I think I mentioned we'll have to get to Rashford as well.
Yeah, definitely. But for the same reason as Kane, Rashford was injured towards the start of 2020. So, and this season, this season's been very hot and cold because of his injuries. But definitely an honourable mention as well. Definitely not. He
has been one of United's better players this season. But again, he's probably not enough to get him in this team. So, what are we going to go for then for the strikers then?
Son. We agree on Son.
Yeah,
I think we agree on Salah as well. I think it's a centre forward position that we're putting heads on.
I'm going to go Kane.
Salah's on the right. I think me and Ethan have beaten it key to that one. And
Kane.
I have to say Vardy because of
I'm willing to change to Vardy. I'm willing to change to Vardy. To be fair.
What?
Yeah, Kingy, so. we're not saying Kane's not good. I'm just saying 2020 because Kane obviously was injured towards the start of the season. Of the 2020 season, Vardy's been scoring more goals and last season and this season.
Crazy as well. Vardy's in his I think he's in 33, 34 now. He's getting to his mid 30s. He's still scoring. It's absolutely mental. It's brilliant.
He doesn't run. He only runs and the ball gets played through to him.
Kingy, he put some respect on his name because Vardy's.
Yeah, I know.
He's gone from non-league football. Close. He's gone from non-league football in like Stockbridge.
He's consistent.
Fleetwood. Look at him now. He's one of the league's best strikers at 34.
He's really consistent.
Yeah, I know he is, but Kane's a better striker.
Yes, he's a better striker. Obviously. He's a better striker, but in 2020,
same reason why I'm not picking Mane instead of Son.
Better.
Oh, and I'll give you Vardy then. Fair enough.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
I've got a couple more. I've got any more. Yeah, Mane was one of my honourable mentions. Jimenez, Cody, Grealish.
Yeah, I had Jimenez.
I'll put Joe Gomez in there as well because I thought he's done well, maybe not as well as say any of the different.
Another honourable mention for me, Soyuncu at Leicester.
Oh, bugger off.
Maybe not this season. Last season he was pretty good. Maybe not this season.
It's an honourable mention. It's an honourable mention.
He's a mop. He ain't no good.
You've heard it here first. Son choose a mop. Alex King 2020.
He's a bang average player. He ain't no better than that.
Sorry, Leicester fans.
All the Leicester fans are saying, "Oh, he replaced Maguire. He's better than Maguire." No, he ain't. He's all right. He's bang average. That's about it. He ain't bad, but he ain't world beater.
That's why I said it's an honourable mention.
Yes, but Ethan, he hasn't done anything. Ethan, right. The start up until about December, January last year, 1926, I admit, yes, Soyuncu played well. Since then, Leicester, from January, February, fell off badly at the end of last season. And he was not good. So,
you say that, Kingy, but Leicester weren't far off getting Champions League football. They weren't that far off.
He went to the final day.
Did he go to the final day? It was close run thing.
They were 12 points clear of Man United in February. You shouldn't lose 12 points.
That's not. You can't just pin that down to him. It could be Brendan Rodgers.
I'm not saying it is him. I'm not saying it is him. But I watched games and he was all right. He's okay. He's not a bad defender. He's probably one of their better defenders. Yes, I agree. Actually,
what else have they got? Johnny Evans.
He's an honourable mention. I'm not saying he should be in the team. He's an honourable mention.
Where's Morgan better than him, I've heard.
No, Wesley Fofana's their best player, defender.
He signed this season.
Yeah, but he's still their best player.
Wait, who did he say? Sorry, I missed that one. Who did he
Wesley
say?
Fofana.
Nah, Soyuncu's better than him.
Okay, another honourable mention, I'd say Wan-Bissaka, Ben Chilwell.
They
What?
weren't going to get in, but they weren't going to get in with
Oh,
Trent and what's it?
Yeah.
They were gonna get-
Chilwell.
Honourable mentions.
Yeah, I know
You
that, but
can't defend.
yeah, I agree with that, Ethan. Yeah, but they weren't really close, were they? Come
Yes,
on.
but honourable mentions.
Okay,
Not saying they
okay,
should get in the
okay,
No,
team.
he's not
Right,
that good.
chill.
He's crap.
Chilwell.
Ben
He really
Chilwell.
isn't.
How much did Chelsea pay for him?
Oh yeah, I can't spit.
40 odd million, was it? It was close to that, wasn't it?
Oh.
It was quite a lot of money for him.
Jesus. He's worth about 30 million at max.
Although you could, to be fair, United fans can't really say anything. They bought
Yeah,
Maguire.
I know. I can't say anything. Maguire's not worth 80 million. Maguire's worth about 40 million. I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree. Maguire's a bang average centre half. I know he is.
Whatever.
Bloody bench.
Honestly,
What game do you watch?
This is it's an honourable mention. Calm down.
Yeah, but he shouldn't even be mentioned because he's not even that good. He's an average player.
Oh, stop,
You know
man.
what?
It's the last
You know
podcast
what?
for Christmas. End some Christmas cheer. Come on, man.
Guys, I think we can end it here. And the people who are watching,
Kings have
please.
one too many of them alcoholic shandies, so we'll move.
Please. I want 100 so bad. If we don't have it, I think I'll cry. And let's say this. Anyone who knows us, this is how big it is. If we can get over 100 subscribers by the end of the year, all of us will wear
next week, but yeah.
All of us will wear a rival fans shirt for the next podcast of the new year.
Well, lads, don't subscribe. I'm not wearing a Man United shirt on the next podcast. If
So,
you don't subscribe, I'll let you.
Bennett will wear a Man United shirt, and me and King will wear Liverpool shirts. That's what. If you want to see that,
yeah, subscribe.
we can say it that way.
And George Bennett will also do a stadium tour for the whole day on his own if he gets 100 subscribers.
Stadium tour?
Yeah. A full
Won't
Premier
get
League
it.
stadium tour in the Peugeot 107.
Oh, I'd love to do that. That's
Funny enough,
content,
I've got tickets to Liverpool Stadium tour. I should have done last year, but I never did it.
No, we got next year.
Yeah, it's next year. All right, anyway.
Right, guys. So, as Ethan said, it'd be lovely if we did hit 100 subscribers. It would mean a lot to us because obviously, that's like your first big milestone, really. And then hopefully in the new year,
a million.
No,
yeah, well,
not a
yeah,
million.
chill out, lad.
I mean, if we do get a million, then if we do get over a million, then I'll probably quit my job. But
You'll retire and go on YouTube for a living, lads.
But yeah, it's been a good year for us. We're all a bit like nervous when we first started, and we definitely probably know. But I think we've improved as people doing the podcast have improved. I think we've listened to people's ideas, and we're always willing to listen to people's ideas and criticism as well. And obviously, it's been a good year. I mean, obviously, it's been a bit of a tough year regarding it's been a shame we haven't had to be able to do it in a studio, but we've had to adapt. But hopefully next year, hopefully March, April time when we hope things should be a bit better then. Obviously, we've got a couple of tough months ahead. And then hopefully we should be at Ethan's studio.
New studio that he's been planning day and night for. He's got his parents up all those building things for us. I mean, it's
don't get me wrong. The Stoke studio we had was very good, but I'm looking forward to being back in.
And you know what? We should say a couple of thank yous, everyone. Let's end the year right. I want to thank the listeners, the loyal listeners we've had over the year. I want to thank Angel as well for editing a few of the podcasts towards the start of the year and helping us out with the studio.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to thank my parents, giving us a couple of ideas, and our friends used a couple of ideas. And you too.
I want to
thank you. Thank you for being loyal co-host to this wonderful.
I want to thank Staffordshire Uni for letting us use their uni as well.
They're not watching this as well.
I want to thank Virgin Trains for delivering me safely to Stoke over the first few weeks.
Thank you.
And also
Amazon for buying the equipment for us to record in lockdown.
And also, she's going to kill us if we don't ask her. Thanks, Leah. She's probably not listening.
What are you saying thanks to Leah for, Ethan?
She helped us a little bit with equipment
and
here and there.
My final honourable mention, a best bit of the year, I think has to go to McVitie's Digestive Biscuits. They've been a source of entertainment and income for us after that amazing video of me eating the biscuits. They have to be mentioned, and hopefully they'll sponsor us next year.
And Jim White. Don't forget Jim White, Kingy.
Jim White as well.
The reference to Jim White that you had.
Jim White, with his new tie and suit and his lovely white hair.
They'll be back soon, lads. We'll be covering that.
And Jim White, actually, to be fair, speaking of Jim White, January, which will be the next podcast, he'll be making an appearance because the transfer window's open. So that will be probably a new up and coming topic we'll be talking to you. But we're going to wrap it up here. I hope everyone has a nice Christmas and a good New Year. Stay safe, and hopefully we'll see you in the new year with you.
For 100 subscribers.
100 subscribers. For you that hopefully we can all do.
And some new quality videos to come out. And we look forward to 2021.
Interviews, vlogs. Next year's going to be big.
We'll see.
Possibly a European stadium tour as well, if we're allowed, hopefully towards the end of the year in the summer. We're hoping to go to a few European grounds. So there's a lot to look forward to, providing everything calms down with the pandemic, which fingers crossed, I'm sure it will do with a vaccine now available. So let's look forward to 2021. I hope you've enjoyed us this year. Have a good Christmas and New Year. So it's a goodbye from George.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching for this year.
And it's a goodbye from Ethan.
See you guys.
And it's a goodbye from me. Thank you very much, guys, for watching this year, and we look forward to seeing you next year. Goodbye.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Good evening, everybody. A pleasure and a privilege, as always, to be at Anfield, where we are hoping for another miracle like Istanbul. Shaqiri in his own half rolls it square towards Matip.